Hey, hi everyone, welcome back to the live show. And today we have two amazing speakers. We have Miss Dhyana, who is the Miss Universe Malaysia 2016, the Wise Queen, and also we have Miss Riana Pangindian, who is Miss Universe Philippines 2020 PASIG City. So first of all, thank you so much, Miss Dhivya and Miss Riana, for joining us in the show. Definitely, I'm honored to have both of you here. And I would like to share a little bit about your intro, about your bio. Miss Dhyana, as I mentioned just now, she's the Vice Queen of Miss Universe Malaysia 2016. She's a doctor by profession and also an advocate for women empowerment. For Miss Riana Pangindian. She is Miss Universe Philippines PASIG City 2020. She's a professional model and also she is a graduate in the field of biological science and also she has a license to be a teacher in that particular field. Miss Divya and Miss Jana, are there anything like you would like to add about the bio and maybe say a word or two to our audience and viewers are watching this live?
First of all, thank you to the Shout Project for having us on this platform. I think there's nothing else I can add. You did a fantastic introduction, so thank you. Rihanna, you want to add anything?
No, I think Nisha did a great, great job also. Thank you for having us here. It's really a great honor and privilege to share positivity through the Shout Project.
Okay, definitely our pleasure, and we're looking forward to spread greater positivity and definitely hoping that this session will inspire people who are watching this live. And actually, the fact that we have our Philippine speaker here, I would be more than glad to share a little bit about my Tagalog. If you don't mind,
Yeah,
Miss Riana, okay?
go for it.
Okay. Okay, so it goes this way. Kamusta, Ate Riana? Ako si Nisha, taga Malaysia ako. Konti lang ang alam ko sa salitang Tagalog at gusto ko sabihin ikinagagalak kita makilala ka. Was that okay?
Wow!
Good
Wow,
job.
ang galing mo.
Okay, just a little
You're
bit.
very fluent.
Okay, I'm glad I did that well. Okay, okay, just for the audience, for your kind note, what I told was that this is an English translation. I told, hi, how are you, Sister Riana? I'm Nisha from Malaysia. I know a little bit of Tagalog, and I would like to say that it's nice meeting you. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So now back to our speakers because you guys are the main topic here today. I would like to ask Miss Dhyana about your journey in this beauty pageants. What actually inspired you to take up this journey? And actually, I did come across one of your articles. You told that you shared that when you were younger, you followed your father for a visit to the old folks home, and there it was there that you met Miss Sushmita Stan. And when
Yep.
you saw her at that time, you felt so inspired. You told that you want to be like her, and you picked her as your idol. So I'm curious to know why. What did you actually see in her that you wanted to emulate her at that time and pick up this journey?
Okay, I've spoken about this many times because my entire Miss Universe journey was Sushmita Sen. She was my idol since I was, I think, about 4 years old. So she was Miss Universe 1995, and she did this world tour, and she had a stop in Malaysia where she was visiting some homes. I can't really remember the whole what was the project about, but somehow my father was involved, and he got me to go and give her flowers. And I was 4. Obviously, I didn't know what was going on. But when I went and gave it to her, I was just stunned. I was stunned at this like beauty, not just how she looked, but how she walked, how she spoke, her whole, just her aura, her presence there was great. And it was actually my father who said, Divya, one day you're going to be like her. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I sure want to be like her. So that's where my journey started. I was 4. And I had her figure in my head for many years, always wanting to be like her, not just in her journey as a beauty queen, but her journey as a human being. I don't know if you follow her that much, but her beliefs, her strength as a woman, how she's a single mother, she's caring for 2 children. She doesn't care about the opinions of the world, but she just does her stuff. That's just strength. And I respect and admire her throughout my journey. So she was the reason why I wanted to join anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a time frame, but I always knew that was my end goal. I joined other pageants as well. I joined Miss Malaysia India Global in 2012. I joined Miss World Malaysia in 2014, but I always knew that my end goal was Miss Universe.
Okay. So like how when you got inspired, did you like set a time that when you actually want to pick up the journey?
I did. I actually failed it the first time. So when Sushmita won, she was 19. She was 19 when she won the
Miss
world,
Universe.
yeah, international title. So I thought, okay, when I'm 19, so that's 2010. That was when I was going to be Miss Universe. But you see, I didn't know that it came with a lot of hard work. I just went for the audition, and obviously I didn't get through. I didn't know how to speak in public. I didn't know how to wear makeup. I never wore heels. So obviously, my first round, I got kicked out. But that's when I knew that it was a whole journey of like self development. I took the next few years to learn how to become a beauty queen. See, I'm sure Miss Riana would agree with me. Being a model and being a beauty queen is actually there's a vast difference between these two. I think
Definitely.
anybody can be a model, but to be a beauty queen, you need to. I know it's a cliche statement to say beauty and brains, but it is really you need to have beauty with a purpose. If you don't have a purpose to why you're doing things, and if you don't have an aim, your whole journey throughout the beauty pageant is redundant. So I learned how to speak, I learned how to find purposes. I was very involved in women empowerment projects. So I kind of molded myself until I thought, okay, 2016, now I'm ready. I'm ready to compete. And so I tried again.
Okay, that's very inspiring, and definitely I could see both of you are beauty with brains. Definitely with all that you have accomplished so far.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Miss Fiona, I would like to hear more about you, about your
All right.
inspiration and how did that lead you to take up the beauty pageant journey. If I'm not mistaken, you started venturing into beauty pageant during your schooling time when you were 14 years old, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so how is that? How is it more like?
Yeah, so for me, back in, yeah, during high school, actually before I entered high school, I
Okay.
experienced a lot of bullying actually for how I look, and then and as I entered high school, that's when I had this opportunity to join a school pageant. It was the first event, like it was the first time that our school held that pageant. But since I was the tallest in our classroom, you know how teachers
Okay.
would nominate you and say, okay, you're the representative. But I know nothing about wearing heels. I know nothing about wearing gowns as well. So for me, it was a really whole new journey. So, but I said yes. So when I joined that, that's when I found out that I have a talent for this, So at first I didn't know what to do with my life. Like I'm not that kind of person who knows, oh, when I grow up I want to be this. But for me, when I was growing up, I don't know what do I what do I want to do in life. But I knew I wanted to be a model. When I was four, I guess same age with Miss Diana.
So it was like
When I
more like a flow there. It was more like a
sorry.
flow. You jumped in with volunteering in your school pageants, and then you slowly found that that was what you're passionate about, isn't it?
Yes, yes, definitely. So there, so that was the start of my pageant journey. But I at first I really didn't want it because I'm very shy. I don't like talking to people. I don't like answering questions in public. So it was a challenge for me to actually embrace this and allow
Mm-hmm.
myself to um learn from this journey. And so I actually also couldn't, because I wasn't also the type where, oh, by this year I will join again, and by this year, because I originally wanted to be a model, right? So I just wanted to walk the runway and just look beautiful and all that. But finding myself in pageantry, what really started back in 2016 when I first joined our national pageant here in the Philippines, Binibining
Uh-huh.
Pilipinas. So that was a huge stepping stone for me to really discover more about pageantry. Now I agree with Miss Dhivya. Like it's hard work. Like you train for it. It's like a sport. You really have to be disciplined. You really have to actually love what you're doing so that you'll be able to really give your best and really inspire others as well. So there. After that, 2016. I was 19 years old back then, so I thought I was very young. I was still in college, so but I gave it a try, and I don't regret it because I learned a lot from that experience. Even though I had to stop for a year in my schooling, but when I finished that, I landed top 15 finalist. So for me, it was a huge, it was a huge success already because like I was very I'm a novice in the pageant world, right? So after that, I decided to go back to my academics and finish my studies. And that's when I told my parents, okay, I'll finish until I get my license. Until I get my degree and until I get my license in teaching, and then I'll see when I finish that if I'm gonna join again. And then yeah, the the Lord is good. First ever Miss Universe Philippines. So we're having a separate pageant from the previous national pageant that I first joined in. And so I said to myself, yeah, why not? I wanted to do something. I wanted to do I guess I just felt like I have an unfinished business in the pageant industry, so I'm giving it a shot before I actually, I guess, move on from it and pursue a more stable career. But for now, since I'm still, since it also have an age requirement while I'm young, why not? So yeah, I decided to join again this year. And like what Miss Divya said, I think I'm more prepared as well this year.
Okay, I'm glad you're more prepared, Riana. Definitely happy for you. And I wonder, I'm curious about what are the challenges that both of you face when you're taking on this journey, and how did you actually keep up yourself so positive to overcome all these challenges? Maybe it's your time management, especially Miss Divya, you were managing with you as a medic student, beauty pageant along, and also Miss Riana, definitely your studies aside. So how did you actually cope with all this, Miss Divya?
Okay, for me, so when I was competing for Miss Universe 2016, I was in my almost final year. Final year. So I was having exams concurrently with the final week, and when I look back now, I sometimes wonder how did I do it, because people keep asking me like how did you do it, but I think at the time I just wanted both. I wasn't prepared to Miss Riana, you said you took a gap year. I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to take a gap year. I was afraid it was going to affect my studies. Medicine has been my passion since I was a kid. So, you know how people tell you that, especially in my scenario where medicine and modeling or beauty pageantry is two worlds apart, but I wanted both. I was greedy and I said, no, I'm going to do both and I'm going to try as much as I can. So I think time management, you're right. Time management is really important. So we had weeks of training during the finals. And there were days where, we are up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning and we're doing our catwalk, our fittings, we're doing shoots and makeup and the whole day until like 10, and everyone goes to bed, right? I would stay from 10 to like midnight or 1 o'clock studying. I had all my notes, I had brought all my books, and this happened every day for a couple of months whenever we had training. It was funny because even during shoots, I had my pocket notes. I had for each of my topics, each department, I had mini books that I carried around. That's all I packed for Miss Universe. I had clothes, makeup, and books because I knew that there's a lot of time. And I'm sure, Rihanna, one shoot will take about 6 hours because there are like 20 girls, everyone's doing hair and makeup, and there's a lot of time wasted. So during that time, I'd be reading. I still remember once, I think I was doing ONG, so obstetrics and gynecology. I was studying for that. So, the whole delivery and birth, and I was reading, and our hair stylist, he was doing our hair for the shoot. And I'm reading, and he got distracted. He was looking at my book, trying to figure out what am I reading, and he kind of like burned my book, and I was like, "Whoa, ouch!" And he was like, "Oh, sorry," because nobody like studies, because everyone's just like, "Okay, it's a pageant." But I was so afraid that my time in pageantry was gonna take up, like I was gonna fail, or I was gonna have to miss out on my studies. So I was very particular. Every day I studied. All my assignments were done during the Miss Universe training. I was always on my laptop. I was always doing assignments. I was up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning doing my assignments while everyone's sleeping. So I was really tired all the time. But I think this is where these are kind of the moments where you realize that you literally can do anything. Like a human being is capable of so many things if you actually like force yourself and put in the hard work. Anything is possible.
Yes, I definitely agree with you. And also, write in your article that you believe that everything is achievable. It's just the matter that the efforts that you put in and the initiatives and determination. And
Definitely,
I really love the way you manage your time there, having your books all along. That's definitely
Right.
great. Miss Riana, what about you? What was the challenges that you had faced through? And definitely you have been managing along with your studies and maybe any other challenges that came by and how did you cope up with that?
Right. Well, for me, I also wanted actually like what you did, Miss Divya. I also wanted to do it both because I also when I entered college, I really said to myself, "Oh, I want to finish this in 4 years. I want to finish on time and graduate on time." But apparently, unfortunately, when I joined our national pageant here, I asked our dean if I can do it both. But it was hard also for me because my school is in Manila and our pageant is somewhere in Quezon City. So it takes an hour and a half you're gonna ride a jeep and take an hour and a half to reach Cubao or Quezon City where the pageant is ongoing. So I did that for a week or two, I think. So I still enrolled. I still told my parents, no, I still want to study, so I want you, I want you to enroll me. But at the same time, I also thought, oh, but this opportunity is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I was really torn between, what should I take first, or if I had to choose one, what should I choose? So what I did at that time, I really asked um my friends and my family members who are close to me on what they think I should do. Because for me, when I decide on things, I really wanted to be sure somehow because I'm so afraid to make mistakes or like what Miss Divya. I don't want to somewhat waste time on things that will not
yeah.
be worth it at the end. So I really asked some counsel from my friends, from my mentors, and most of them are saying, yeah, you should give it a try. But my heart wants to stay. I want to study. I want to finish my studies. So long story short, yeah, I had to take a gap year because our university wouldn't allow me to do it both. So even though I had so many time, I understand what Miss Livia was talking about earlier. I knew that we had so many waiting time during the pageant, where when there's the shoot that's going on, you have a lot of time. Like really, you can really do it, like what she did. But then yeah, our university wouldn't allow me to. But I guess it was good because I was able to still focus on one, and after I was able to again finish my career. So I guess God is good that he still allowed me to experience both. But yeah, I've learned that I think you really have to know why you're doing what you're doing. So if you know what the reason why, like what Miss Divya said, nothing's impossible because you know what you go back to your purpose, you go back to your reason on why you're doing this, and it will keep you motivated. It will keep you going because at the end it will be worth it, or at the end it will go back to you.
Yeah, I'm glad that you actually like already finished your studies and you've graduated now. So like now are you planning to take on the teacher's line or how? What are your plans for your future? Because now you're a professional model, but at the same time you're also given the license to do teaching in the field of biological science. So how are you planning to go ahead?
Yeah, well, before this pandemic happened, I already kind of set my mind to, okay, I'm gonna join this pageant, and after this pageant's done, whatever the result is, I'll probably give myself another year or two to do the duties if ever I win. But if I don't, I had that goal in my mind to um take up master's degrees, and at the same time teach again, or apply to school so I could teach. But now, since everything's that's going on around us, I've been considering to do it online for the meantime, since I have lots of time now. I'm thinking of still practicing by doing it online. So I know a few students who would
Mhm.
need a teacher or tutor, so maybe I can do that for now. Since yeah, I still couldn't actually go on a full job because the pageant is still ongoing, so we still have activities and preparations to focus on. So but yes, I do have plans on eventually going to the teaching field, and really, because I miss waking up early and facing my students every day, because I taught for a year, both in public and private school here in the Philippines. And so I really, it's the work that we do is really fulfilling, because you see, not just you see when you see your students learn and really develop and really say, just even when they just say thank you to you because they understood the lesson, that's a huge like a huge return of investment kind of thing, because you know that, okay, at least the student learned something new today. So yeah, I actually miss going back to teaching.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so next I want to ask like a personal favorite question for me, because I believe that I'm going to touch on principles of life, because I believe that the principles that one holds onto definitely reflect on their personality and the way they carry themselves. And Miss Divya, from one of your videos about yourself during Miss Universe Malaysia 2016, there was a video that you mentioned you highly respect on human values, traditions, culture, and one interesting thing, and that I found it cute as well. You said that people who are getting into your car, they're strictly not allowed to throw rubbish outside. Well, I definitely got to agree with that, because I think that is more of our responsibility, be it as an individual or as a community. We all play part to make sure our environment is all healthy and so on. So besides this, what are the other rules or perhaps principles that you carry along with you?
It's funny that you brought that up because even a couple of days back, I've been seeing people throwing rubbish out of their window, and it just drives me insane. Yeah, so I grew up. I guess I was lucky enough to be exposed to a lot of spiritual journey and education on human values. I think that the essence of being born is you find your purpose in life, and I think everyone's caught up in the whole rat race of life, being successful, being famous, being rich, but they fail to be a good human being. And I think there are a lot of things that comes with being a human, and it should be instilled as a child. So as a child, I learned a lot of core components. One of it being environment. I've always been my family and myself. We've always been very environmentally conscious. I uh, try as much as I can to be very environmental friendly. All my products are toxic free, animal cruelty free. I don't actually shop. I don't know if you follow my Instagram, but the last few couple of years, I've been shopping only eco-friendly shopping. So like I don't even buy shampoo bottles or soap bottles. I actually refill all my shampoo and soap, and I go to a zero waste center. I don't use a normal plastic toothbrush. I only use a bamboo toothbrush. So there are a lot of things that I've changed in my lifestyle. I definitely don't throw anything out of my car. In my car, there's a little litter bin that's in my car. So you throw it there, and then I'll settle it when I get home. I'll get it out, because I think what people fail to understand is the environment or the world is your home. I mean, you wouldn't walk around in your hall and throw rubbish,
Yes,
and people tend to do that outside because they think that, oh, someone's going to clean that up. I don't have to do that. They fail to take responsibility. And I think this whole world is your home, your country, wherever you're living is your home. And if you understand that it's your responsibility to keep it clean, only then your home would be, a safe place to live in.
okay, that's definitely interesting about you telling about your personal things and so on. So, what about Miss Riana? What are the principles that you carry along with you?
Right. Well, for me, I grew up in a Christian home, so I'm blessed that at an early age I was somewhat exposed to who Jesus is, and that probably shaped that shaped my entire being. Basically, as I grew older, I also got to just know more about who He is, know more of what um of how he wants me to live this life, and so for me, one of the things that I really value the most is people. So it's really showing love and showing care and kindness to people, just like how Jesus did. So for me, it's really a journey of being more like him. I'm not perfect, definitely not. I'm not also, sinless, but like just the journey of learning through life, it allows me to be more like him, and I get to share this especially to young girls. So ever since I was 15, I've been mentoring young girls in our church. So we have this what we call like a small group where we get to just be accountable with one another and ask how each other like how they are going throughout their week, throughout their life, so it's like having an ate or like an older sister that they can talk to and that they can confide with. And I too have an ate that I can also talk to and confide with. And I guess for me, this has been very helpful and really, and just really going through life, especially life's difficulties. I realized that we really cannot do this alone. We really need one another in this life that we have here on earth. And so I realized that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to talk to someone if you feel low, if you feel down. And I guess that's also one of the reasons why I can keep myself positive amidst everything that's going on, because I know, or I realize that I'm not alone. Like if I feel low and I feel empty, or I feel like I'm at loss, when I look outside of myself, I see more people who are also in need. So, why not share that hope that I have? Why not share that love that I can give, through Jesus to them? So, yeah. So for me, it's really about loving people. Like what Miss Divya said, you have to be humane. You have to be a good person, like a good human being to one another. Because really, diba, I mean, that's really what we're, I think, meant to live, or how we were meant to live our lives.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree because it's the satisfaction that we get when we share love and care to people is just very different, and sometimes you can't describe it, the satisfaction and how you feel grateful when you put a smile on other people's face.
Definitely.
Okay, so a little bit, I want to go back to the journey on your beauty pageant. How did that beauty pageant actually shape you? Like the difference that you saw in yourself before joining the journey and also after. Miss Riana, you can go ahead first.
Okay. So for me, how did the pageant correct me if I'm wrong, how did the pageant shape me for who I am now, right?
Yeah.
I guess
Uh-huh.
the pageant industry have really shaped me in terms of my confidence and just speaking, and even just even fixing myself, because I when I was younger, I wouldn't care much about how I look. I wouldn't care much about how I wear, what I wear, or I don't even know how to put makeup on. So the pageant industry had helped me really in just taking care of myself and knowing more of who I am in terms of not just my outward beauty, but also my inward beauty, like what Miss Divya was mentioning earlier, that I found a purpose in this. Like through joining pageants, it's really like we really get to have a huge platform, really get to have a huge influence, not just to the people in the pageant industry, but also outside the pageant industry, and especially young girls. I mean, I'm a product of that. I too was inspired. But for my during my time, because I think Miss Smita Sen was a year before I was born, so I didn't really, but I wasn't able to watch her. But during my time, it was Venus Straw. She's also Filipina, Miss Universe Philippines, fourth runner-up 2010. So for me, she was the one. She's like the Sushmita Sen in my life. And when I watched her in the Miss Universe stage, I was just inspired by how she was very graceful and elegant, and so I wanted to be like that. But when I also got to know her more, and she's actually also my friend now, and I know her personally, that inspired me even more to actually do this or pursue pageantry, because it really encourages and inspires a lot of young women to know who they are and acknowledge their beauty and use this for the good, use their beauty and their knowledge and even their capabilities to really inspire others as well. So yes, that's how it shaped me.
Okay, that's definitely interesting to hear, and I definitely see Miss Riana to be a more empowered person right now, and very
Thank
happy for
you.
you for that.
Thank
Miss Divya,
you.
how did the pageant life or pageant journey shape you to be a better person, like
I think
before and
I've got
after?
to I think I've got to agree with Rihanna on a lot of things. Confidence is definitely one of your biggest gain when you enter any competition. I think not only pageantry, whether it's a dance competition, a singing competition, whatever that you get to present yourself in an audience. I think confidence is one of your biggest gain. Apart from that, actually, you learn a lot about yourself throughout this journey because time constraints, working with other people, your people skills, your communication skills, because it's not only your other participants, but your hairstylist, your makeup artist, your camera crew, people telling you time's up, 6 o'clock, wake up, and things like that. Your patience. I think it really taught me a lot of patience of how to deal with time constraints, deal with people, and everyone has a different personality, so I think it made me more open, more understanding, definitely confident, and yeah, I think I learned most about myself, about my limitations, my capabilities. I didn't know I could act much. We did this during our pageant journey. We had one session with some YouTubers, and they made us act and see things like I wouldn't have done on a normal basis. And then after that, I'm like, hey, I can do that. So I think it brings out a lot of hidden talents that you yourself probably didn't explore. Yeah, I think that a lot of self introduction and self exploration.
Okay, I think I should search on the acting video on YouTube now.
Oh no.
Miss Divya, I'm curious, like, have you joined any dancing competitions before? Because I do know that you have backgrounds in Bharatanatyam background, hip hop dancing. Have you joined any competitions before for dancing,
um,
Carnatic, and so on?
No, I think okay. So I did 6 years of traditional Indian dance, which is Bharatanatyam, and I did about 2 years of hip hop and Latin. I love dancing, but somehow I never actually joined any competitions. But I used to perform. My dance school for hip hop and all, we did perform in events, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of collaborations with other dancers. Um, I actually had our own dance group. It was consisting of myself, my sister, my cousin, and a friend. So the four of us,
Okay.
we performed at weddings. Of course, nowadays the whole weddings scenario is bigger. It's like big dance crew. But I'm talking about like 10 years, 10, 12 years ago, where it's just mini dance crews. So I had my own dance group, and we danced for a lot of events for many years. But I never joined any competition.
Mm.
Okay. Maybe in future we would be very excited to see you joining
I don't know.
one.
I haven't danced in a very long time.
Okay. Okay, to Miss Rihanna, I have something for you. Knowing that you're a very active person, you like to venture in many various fields. Besides taking on beauty pageant and also your studies aside, you're also active in sports. You like to venture into volleyball, basketball, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Yeah.
what is it that motivates you to venture into many various things in life?
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I guess
Okay, maybe I'll repeat again.
sorry. Hello. All right. So for me, when I was in high
Um,
school, we were in.
what is it that motivates you to venture many various things in life?
Okay. Yeah. When I was in high school, we were encouraged to we have this program in our school which we call gift program.
Yeah, carry on. Okay.
Yeah. So um, we're encouraged to really venture into
Okay.
things that interests us so that we can balance it with our academics. So we were encouraged not just to focus on academics but also focus on our passions or our talents. So for me, I guess I really didn't have a talent for singing or dancing, so I ventured into sports. So I also thought I could act, but I don't know if I can. But I guess I'm very, so I just ventured into sports. And for me, what motivates me is, I guess, working with a team, especially in volleyball, I learned that value of working with a team. And just the when you see yourself progress further when because I remember when I first tried volleyball, I didn't know how to spike, I didn't know how to receive the ball correctly, you know. So as you train and you train, you see yourself getting better every single time. And even our coach would always encourage us that the skill can be improved, but your character or your attitude is more important than the skill. And so that helped me to really, you know, not just treat sports as like, yes, it is a competition, but I have to remember that, you know, it's my attitude on training, my attitude with my teammates, my attitude even with my competitors are more important than the skill that I have. But yes, I guess I also like getting my body. I just want being active because I love to eat, so I have to I have to do something about that that will keep my body balanced. Even though I love to eat, so sports is definitely one helpful tool for me to do that.
Okay, so like besides sports, maybe any other things that you love doing, like reading or anything?
Right. Well, you know, I lately during this quarantine life, I've been trying to discover more on what I can do. I enjoy doing watercolor, but I'm not really an expert yet or professional. But I just enjoy doing watercolor. I enjoy upcycling. So my dad and I have been upcycling some stuff here at home. I also enjoy just doing the work of. It's weird. I like doing like carpentry stuff, so I would usually fix some stuff here at home that I feel like it needs to be fixed, like the doors or the cabinets that needs to be fixed, or painting the walls. Yun. I enjoy doing those things. It's like a form of bonding with my dad as well. So I recently I did an upside, like I used to have, like, you know, these ID laces. So I kind of weaved it in the chair, and now I don't know. I'm just happy about the results because instead of throwing those ID laces, I was able to put it on a chair and
Mm-hmm.
have it as a support for your butt. So there.
Okay, I would say the NCO time was well spent there. Okay, so to Miss Divya, I would like to ask, okay, definitely, we know that you have the Carnatics background, and in dancing, not only you venture Bharatanatyam instruments, the piano. So I believe that many people out there, be it girls or just anyone out there, they definitely have this kind of dreams that they want to do. They do it, and you actually doing it, accomplishing it. So to you, what is it that takes someone to actually accomplish those goals? Is it like the determination, and maybe like what do you actually say to your own self when you actually want to achieve something and until you get there to accomplish those things?
Okay, first of all, yeah, I did venture into a lot of fields when I was younger. I went into art, I went to singing, dancing, modeling, and then studies. I think I have my parents to thank for that, because I have a very supportive family, and I have parents who literally whatever you wanted to do, they would send you. So my parents were very supportive, and they sent us for a lot of things. I even played the guitar for a while. I played the piano for a few years. Basically anything we wanted, my siblings and we were sent for classes. So I think in that sense, I was very lucky that I was given these opportunities. But then again, that being said, I'm a kind of person who wants to try everything. I'm always curious. I'm always wanting to do new things. And one thing that I say to myself is that I don't take no for an answer. I'm a person who's very determined. All my friends know this. I'm sort of stubborn. If I want something, I will get it. So be it anything, I think
Wow.
that's a strong character to have in the world these days. If you want something, whether it's a talent, whether it's a skill set that you want to learn, or something you want to achieve, I think if you want it, you should just get out and get it. So I'm that kind of person. So I think that's what I've been telling myself. If I want it, I'm just gonna get it. There's no questions about it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely inspired as well. Looking at the many various things that you do and you venture, and you actually have to believe in you that you can achieve what you want. Miss Divya?
Yeah, I think I've always been like that. I've always believed that my life motto is basically you can achieve anything that you want. So whatever that you're interested in, just go and do it. If you have the capabilities, of course.
Mm.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so another question would be during this COVID-19 pandemic, okay, I definitely have to thank Miss Divya beforehand as a doctor and as a frontliners. Everyone's doing their job to, face this COVID-19 situation. And thank you so much. And also, I remember during your Miss Universe Malaysia 2016, there was one question during the public speaking challenge was asked to you, and then you answered. The question was that if you're the Prime Minister of Malaysia, what would you do? Your answer was telling that since you have working experience in overseas, and you see that Malaysia has a lot of improvements to be made, and that as a Prime Minister, you would make medicine more accessible and affordable to people around. And definitely, I think that is something that is happening, and you're making it happen right now as a doctor yourself. So. I think you deserve a round of applause and also a thank you from all of us, from viewers who are watching, and also from me personally. So,
Misha, you're far too kind. Actually, I'd like to just say something. I get it. Like everyone's thanking frontliners right now, and a lot of people have been doing a lot of work for the COVID-19 pandemic. But I remember one of my professor from my university. He had a post. He posted something saying that actually, if you look at it properly, we are not the frontliners. The doctors aren't the frontliners. The public, you guys are the frontliners because y'all are literally dealing with the situation. We are like your last line of defense. You are the frontliners. If you don't do your job, if you don't protect yourself and others, then you come to us. We are your last line of defense. We have to save, we have to save people because they failed as a frontliner. So technically, the public is the frontliner. You have to actually give a round of applause for everyone who's following their SOPs, washing their hands, making sure they're wearing masks, not going out in public if it's not important. So these are the things that I think we should be thanking people who are following rules right now, because as the more you follow the rules, the less work for us to do.
Oh,
okay, I definitely love the way you're being so humble right now, Miss Divya. Okay, and yeah, surely everyone is playing a part to cope with this pandemic together, be it doctors or the public, everyone is together cooperating to make things better and see improvisation in the current situation. So Ms. Divya and also Ms. Riana, I would like to ask, are there any projects or anything that you guys are up to right now during this pandemic time?
mhm.
Any probably like social projects or
Social
humanitarian
projects at the moment, I think
projects, anything that you're
it's
involved
still.
in, and the way you're spreading positivity during this pandemic times. Miss Riana.
Are you asking me? Okay. For yeah, so for the from some social projects, actually, for me, I've been just really staying home and been trying to, like what Ms. Divya was saying, I've been trying to just obey what the protocols and how we could just really minimize or lessen the contact with people outside. So for 3 months now, for 4 months now, actually, I've been staying home. If there's only a need to go out, that's the only reason I go out. So what I do for with what I have at the moment is I really just try to share these initiatives that I see online. I share it to my friends or to my social media accounts so people would know more of how they can help, of how they can donate. I've also given a few of how much I can give to some of these drives. My dad and I would also we used to make some sandwiches for some of the frontliners here in our community, and so that has been something that I think it's something that's really simple or really small. But one of the things I realized during this pandemic, since all of us are experiencing the same thing, whether you're rich or you're poor or whether you're famous or you're not, we're all going through the same thing. And so what we really need at the moment is that we really be united, we really help one another, and just with whatever that we have. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be grand, it doesn't have to be really like a huge effort, but like even by just doing as simple as sandwiches that could feed them for that day, or even as simple as asking how they are or saying thank you to them, I think is a lot of help already. But I've been seeing a lot of work also with some of my co-candidates. I really am actually so proud of them that they are able to do a lot of fundraising drives or other things that they can do in their own provinces or in their own cities. Because each province or each city here in the Philippines has different cases or is in a different situation. So yeah. So that's one of the things that I've learned also through this pandemic, is that we really have to work together, not just like what I love how Dhivya actually said that, even though I still feel like they're the frontliners, but I actually kind of, when you think about it, like we, the public, we have a huge role in this to really help them as well, to for them to stay home, as or for them to go home to their families also and enjoy their time together. And so I guess it's a huge encouragement that we should really do our part as well.
Okay, that's definitely very noble, I would say. Miss Divya, definitely wanting to hear from you too.
Social projects, I think for at the moment, not really much because I've been at work every day. So right now I'm in the psychiatry department, and I think the COVID-19 pandemic didn't only physically affect a lot of people. It also affected people mentally because of the lockdown, because of all these movement control orders. People have been losing jobs, losing money. People have been depressed and stressed. So being in the psychiatry department, I've seen a lot of patients coming in with a lot of depression. We've had higher rates of suicide attempts because people just don't know what to do. Either their salary has been cut or they've been retrenched. Their companies have shut down. So many companies have shut down. So I think it's a global problem right now, not just in healthcare, as in physical healthcare, but mental healthcare as well. So my job basically is just to make sure the mental health is, awareness is put out there. People have to understand that this is, a global problem that everyone is trying to settle right now, and nothing is personal. But then again, it's really hard because we're not in that situation. Some people have already so many, they have like big families, and so many to feed, and then they are losing their jobs, and it's actually very heartbreaking. I've seen so many patients that have come in who are like teachers, lecturers, or engineers, and very well to do, but now because of the whole lockdown, they are completely lost, and they don't know what to do. They're admitted because they are so depressed. They need to start on medications. It's quite sad. It's quite sad, I have to say. But I really hope that we stay strong in this pandemic, and I hope that we recover soon. It's a long process, but I hope that everything gets better and everyone's back to normal soon.
Yeah, I definitely have to say, essentially, especially during this time, it's very important for us to be there for each another and importantly spread positivity that we all can go through this together. Also,
Yeah.
Miss Dhivya and Miss Riana, since our show is coming to an end, and definitely all this sharings, all this work, definitely has put a lot of input and also insights to the audience, and me personally too, I've been learning a lot from both of you. What are the last advices or last say that you would like to put forward to our audience and viewers who are watching this live? Miss Divya, maybe you could start first. And also, Miss Divya, maybe together with a request to sing a song.
Can I do that? Can I do that at the end? Like right at the end?
Yes, sure. Okay, sure, sure.
Okay. My word of advice, basically, I think is the same. I think everyone has to make sure to be there for each other. This is not the time for like the biggest problem right now is the global pandemic, and I think every other problem seems smaller. And I think everyone has to stay strong. Make sure you check up on your friends. Strong people who are strong are actually, they hide it the best, if they're depressed or sad. So I think we have to make sure that we're there for our loved ones, family members, because as you said, we're all in this together. It's a global problem and everyone is fighting the same problem, and it's important to be positive as much as it's hard, because we can just say, stay positive, but I think if you really have to put in a lot of effort to stay positive, and I think that if everyone sort of understands that this is a problem that eventually will go away, we just have to get through it together. I think we all will be healthy and safe.
Okay. Miss Riana, anything you want to add from your side?
Right. Well, yes, I actually would echo what Miss Divya said. It's really important that during this time of the pandemic, we check up on each other and we really be there for one another. If you feel like you're starting to get depressed or starting to really be at a loss of what's gonna happen next, I understand that this pandemic has brought a lot of uncertainties and a lot of worries and anxieties to most of us, especially what you were sharing. I would agree, and I would have those moments sometimes too, to question the future, to question, or how long will this end, or how long, or what else can I do? We've done, I guess, a lot already for the past months. But I guess we have to remain hopeful that at the end of this, at the end of everything that's going on, I truly believe that God is with us. I mean, he knows exactly what's going on, and he's in control, and he loves us so much that yeah, whatever we're going through, we can learn from it, and so we use these learnings, we use these lessons to be better in the future. We don't allow things to just go back to it the way it used to be. I guess this pandemic has also waken us up of what's important to our lives, what really matters in our life, and so we have to really hold on to that and value that, and really um, be a better version of who you are now, because in every crisis it's an opportunity to really know more of ourselves, and how and know more of who God is. And so yes, I just hope that people will continue to remain hopeful, and again, as what Ziva said, to remain positive as well. I think there's a lot of things that we can be thankful for. Maybe we can do that as well, to just list down the things that you're thankful for, and you'll realize that there are a lot that we can be so smile about or be happy about, because for me personally, being having a new day or just living for another day is a huge blessing, and so or even seeing my family together is a huge blessing. So there, I think we can also practice that, to be more thankful, and so we can list them down, and just to remind ourselves that there's more to life than what we thought there, that that's in front of us.
Okay, that was it. Very beautifully said. And yeah, definitely we have to be grateful for we are living today. We get to be with our family members and spend time with our family members, because sometimes when like previously we are busy with works and all those, the time there is a little lesser compared to how we're spending now at home. And truly we should be grateful for that. And as Miss Rihanna said, in every crisis there is an opportunity, and I'm sure that there's greater things awaiting, and probably the change that is being put on us will bring us to a brighter light, to look life in a different outlook. And surely it's something that will make us each of us stronger. Okay, so Miss Divya, we are waiting for something from you. Okay, so before we end the show, we would like to hear a little bit from Miss Divya, just to add a
Okay.
little more positivity to our show.
Just because you requested, I have to just declare that I haven't sung in a very long time. And I just made a random selection of a Hindi song. I don't know if Riana would understand, but it's a
It's
very short
okay.
Hindi song that I've liked for very long.
Okay,
Do I just go?
yes, sure. We are all ready.
ना कुछ मांगा ना कुछ बोला तूने दिल से दिया जो दिया तू ही धूप तू ही छाया तू ही अपना पराया और कुछ ना जानू बस इतना ही जानू तुझे रब दिखता है यारा मैं क्या करूं तुझे रब दिखता है यारा मैं क्या करूं सजदे ही सर झुकता है यारा मैं क्या करूं तुझे रब दिखता है यारा मैं क्या करूं. That's it.
Yay!
That was very beautiful. That was very beautiful. But if I'm
Beautiful.
not mistaken, a part of the lyric says that I see God in you. What should I do? Isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it means. So it means that I didn't ask for anything. I didn't wish for anything. Everything was given to me without me asking. These are the times that I see God in you, and I think that maybe it's suitable for the pandemic because this is where unexpectedly you see God in a lot of people who help, people who do a lot of things for others. So I think it's a good song.
Okay, yeah, definitely got to agree with it. And it was just very beautiful the way you sang it. And it was a great way to get to the end of the show as well. And I would like to express my gratitude to Miss Divya and also Miss Riana for spending your time despite your hectic schedule. You guys made time and so many sharings, valuable sharings, and definitely I believe everyone who's watching this are inspired. And thank you so much for your time. I'm really hoping to have you guys in the session again and till we meet again.
Thank
Thank you so much.
you.
I think you guys, the Short Project, have been doing a very good job. I know you. I saw some posts that you guys are trying to get a title, a Guinness title for this, right? So I hope. I really wish you all the best, and I hope that you get to achieve it. I think it's a good step forward that you're doing to make sure to gather a lot of positive videos. I think this is what the world really needs right now. So kudos to you, and I wish and I'm sure Riana wishes the same. We wish you all the best, and good luck in all your future endeavors.
Yes,
Okay, thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much. Yeah.
All
Bye,
right, bye
guys.
bye.